Cool. So let's get started. So if all of the students could just say your name, grade, and major. So basically to put a face to the name, sort of as it is on the slide.
All right, I'll start off. Hi, everyone. My name's Annika. I'm a sophomore at USC, and I'm studying health and human sciences. So I guess next, Katie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie, and I'm a freshman studying human development and aging.
Hello, I'm Caleb. I'm a sophomore studying international relations.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, and I'm a senior this year, and I'm also studying human development and aging.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lois. I'm a sophomore. I'm studying human development and aging. I'm going to toss it to Bryson.
Yeah, I'm not listed on there. I might have forgot to put my name, but my name is Bryson, and I'm a junior in computational biology.
Alrighty. So today we're going to be talking about iPad tips and tricks. And so we're going to start off by talking about apps and how to organize them and just download them, that sort of stuff. So without further ado, so downloading apps. So if anyone has an iPhone and you've downloaded apps before, you know there's the App Store. It's on your home screen. And to download apps, right when you tap on the App Store, there's going to be, this is your home screen. What you're going to see right here is going to have your name, like your little photo up here, and then these little apps with little like news clips. And what you do is you go down to the search bar and you type in whatever you're looking for. So in here, I wanted to know more about USC and their sports. So I was looking up sports apps. And so anyways, after I typed in my search feature, I pressed on get. And then once you do that, a little window will pop up and it will say install. And so once you press install, you're going to have to type in your Apple ID password. You should have set this up when you set up your iPhone. But if you don't know the password, if you forgot it, there is the option down here. It's kind of small, where you can click on forgot password, and then you can re-update it or get access to it again. And then, so once you download your app, you can reorganize them around to your liking. So for this example, so I already had downloaded this Trojan Fever app, which basically if you go to like USC sporting events, if everything's normal and you're on campus, you get like extra little credit, and you can generate that to get like rewards and stuff. So anyways, I wanted to organize all my USC sports apps into one place. And so anyways, what you do to do this is you hold down on the app, and then once that occurs, this is for the iPhone 11. It's a little slightly different for older versions of the iPhone, but it's the same sort of thing where you hold down on the app, and then that should generate, that should allow you to move your apps around. But on my particular iPhone, if you hold down on the app, this little screen will pop up and it will say edit home screen. And then once that occurs, you see there's going to be all these little sort of minus signs at the top, and this will allow you to move your apps around or delete them or do whatever you want. And so to get both of my apps on the same page, you just hold down on the app and then just continue holding down, and it will you can like move it around to other pages. And then you can also create folders. So what you do with that is you continue holding down and you move the app on top of the other app that you want to combine into a folder. And so that will create a folder. And then after you have both of your apps in this folder, you can title it to whatever you want. So I did USC Sports, but you can do whatever. And then also, if you wanted to delete apps, so here's some app I don't really care about. You do it the same way as you would to edit the home screen. You click down on the app, and then you can either tap on one of those little arrows that appears, or you can just hit remove app on that screen there, and that will remove it. And then also, just lastly, here are some helpful apps that you might use throughout your daily life. So for example, here's Groupon that will allow you to save money on online shopping or other stores in your area. There's also this app called Hi Future Self, which it sends you text reminders when you have like meetings. So like say, for example, you wanted to figure out, you wanted to remind yourself about this GeroTech meeting you're in right now, you would set up a reminder, and then like an hour or so before, you would get a text message about it, and then you would remember to come. There's also Around Me, which is, so say you're in a new area, you don't really know what's around, but you're like, want to see like what's near you, you can use this app to see that sort of stuff. So it's fairly good if you were like traveling somewhere and like a new location that you don't really know what the local places are. There's also Duolingo, which is just a fun little thing to do in your free time, learn language and explore other things. So yeah, so are there any questions on any of that? Alrighty, I guess we're gonna go on to the control center.
All right, so
Actually, I think somebody put a question in the chat.
Oh yeah, I was able to get to it. Thanks, Diane.
Okay.
Tell me what was the name of that app that Around Me? What was the first thing? I want to write it down.
Around Me.
Oh, around is just Around Me, capital M. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay. So I'll be going over Control Center. So Control Center is basically where you can get faster access to other apps and things that I'm going to go over in the upcoming slides. So so how do you access Control Center? So if you have iPhone X or later, or the newer iPad models, you can open Control Center by swiping down from the top right corner of your screen, and then the Control Center will pop up. And to close, you can just swipe up from the bottom, or you just tap the screen anywhere else. For older models of the iPhone, such as iPhone SE and iPhone 8, or older versions of the iPad, you can open the Control Center by swiping up from the bottom. If you can go to the next slide. So you can see the arrow that I put on the screen. So you swipe up from the bottom edge of the screen, and then you can access the Control Center, and you can close it by just tapping the top of the screen or just press the home button. It'll take you back to your home screen. All right, so we're going to take a look at what's on the Control Center. So for number one, the icon, it has like a little airplane icon. So that's airplane mode. And what that does is it turns off any phone signal and also your cellular data. So once this airplane mode is on, you won't be able to receive any phone calls, and you won't be able to use your cellular data. So it's more useful when you're actually on an airplane. And then for number two, that icon is for your cellular data. So once it's turned on, you can use your data. Once it's off, you can only use your Wi-Fi. So that's recommended for you to turn the cellular data off when you're trying to use Wi-Fi only. So it prevents any like extra use of your data, and that might charge you extra money and things like that. All right, so for number 3, that's your Wi-Fi. So when you want to connect to Wi-Fi, you can always turn it on. And it's usually on until you turn it off manually. And for number 4, that's where your Bluetooth on and off is. So when you want to connect to a Bluetooth product like a speaker or something, you can turn it on, and then you can turn it off when you're not using any of those, and that will actually save you some battery as well. All right, so another tip is that you can access AirDrop. So what AirDrop is, just a quick summary, it's a way for you to share photos, videos, or any files really quickly with other Apple users. We can go into this more later if you have any questions about it, and see if you want to try it out with your other Apple devices. But basically how to turn it on really quickly is you firmly press down on the square that we were going over before, and then you can press AirDrop, and usually it says receiving off. So you can press on that, and then you can choose receiving off, contacts only, or you can choose everyone. So it depends on who you want to share this, who you want to turn AirDrop on to. And then I'll kind of go over what AirDrop is more closely. So basically, if you have a picture you want to share with any other Apple users, like to another, so you're trying to share a picture from your iPhone to your iPad, then you can AirDrop it and then it shares the picture with your iPad with like a press of a button. If anyone's like really interested in this, I can show you in the breakout room, because it's kind of difficult to explain without like the screenshot.
Mind if we ask a audio question?
Yes, go ahead.
How do you turn off the AirDrop on an iPhone?
Yeah,
Turn it-
so if you want to like prevent like strangers from airdropping random things to you, you can just do the what I put on the screen, and then you put receiving off. Then you'll just turn off AirDrop completely.
I don't see how to turn off the AirDrop. I turned it on and I don't see how to turn it off.
Okay, so did you press on AirDrop and then it
Yes.
says everyone?
No, I just, for
contacts
some
only.
reason, have some music on now that I didn't select.
I see. Do you know how to turn off the music or no?
I can try. No.
Okay,
It's
how
just- it's
about,
just-
I'll say it one more time.
No, I just have music in the AirDrop window on the control center.
Okay, on the left screen it says music, and then there's music playing.
No, in the AirDrop window, there's a song playing, and on the maybe I can disable one of those other windows in the 1, 2, 3, 4 that you had, the 4-button window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to get out of the AirDrop.
Let me see.
I don't want to take everyone else's time.
Annika, you want to put us into put Eric and someone else in the breakout room real quick?
I would like to go in that breakout room because I am agreeing with him. I have the same thing. It has a music symbol.
Your
Right
music is
now,
on as well?
right now, I'm not even in the meeting with my iPhone. I'm on a laptop, so I'd have to connect to the Zoom meeting on my iPhone, which I could do.
No, that's okay. It's okay. You can like show us your screen if you have a video on your laptop. But so there's music playing on your phone or no?
No, it's not playing. Let's see if I press play. Yes, it's playing if I hit play.
Okay, so you can just turn it off. You can just turn off the music, and as long as it's the music is not playing.
I paused it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So in the square on the right, it says green light. So that's where your music. So you can like press play, and then it plays your music really quick. But you can just pause it, and it won't do anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how do I'm trying to turn off my AirDrop window.
Okay, so you're trying to turn off AirDrop. So press down on the square firmly, and then this second window will pop up with airplane mode, Wi-Fi, AirDrop. Do you see that screen?
The airplane, yeah, I see that. The airplane and the Wi-Fi, yeah.
Okay, and you see AirDrop?
I see the AirDrop is the second square to the right.
Second square to the right.
Okay, wait. AirDrop receipt. No, I don't see that on my iPhone. I see the airplane mode, the Wi-Fi. No, I don't see the AirDrop receiving something
Okay,
like that.
so press on the airplane mode and Wi-Fi, that square, very firmly down.
Okay, now I do. AirDrop receiving off.
Okay, your AirDrop is off.
Okay, thank you. That did it.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions?
However, I still see the music in that AirDrop window.
So that music square will always be there.
Oh,
There's no way you can remove that.
okay.
And it's just running in the background, but you can choose to play the music or turn off the music, up to you.
All right. I thought that was the AirDrop window.
No, the AirDrop is the button that says AirDrop, and you have receiving off.
All right. Thank you.
Okay? Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
On my iPhone, I can go to my little utility thing and mine looks like that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's your control center.
Okay, but for my iPad, I don't have a utility center. How do I find it?
Let me see your iPad. Can you show it to me?
Okay, it's a mini iPad. It's a new one.
Okay, you can. So, Annika, can you go back to the previous slide?
Yes.
Jeanette, can you show me your screen again one more time? Let me
Okay,
see.
this is what my screen looks like.
Can you scoot back a little bit so I can see the whole screen? Okay. Do you have a home button?
Yes, at the bottom.
Okay, so you're going to swipe up from the bottom of your screen.
And this is what I get.
Okay, try it one more time. Okay.
So I go from the very bottom of my screen up like that.
Yes.
In the middle.
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, try the top right corner.
And go down?
Yes.
Okay, and that's what I get.
All right, go back to your home screen. That's weird. Do the same thing as you do to the iPhone.
Okay, let me see to remember what I did. My iPhone. Okay, I go on the top corner and I go down. Oh, it worked. So that's what I got.
Yeah, you got it. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. All right, any other questions? Okay, let's move on then. I think someone else had a question about Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is a way for you to connect wirelessly with different electronics. So some speakers are Bluetooth speakers where you can play music from your phone, and wirelessly it'll play music from that speaker. And there are different types of Bluetooth devices. Does that answer the question?
If we turn that off, will it save our battery or does it make any difference?
I like turning it off because I feel like it saves a lot of my battery.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it off.
Would you give us your opinion about when to use cellular data as opposed to Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so if I have Wi-Fi available, like at my house, I would turn off my data and only use Wi-Fi.
Okay,
And then if I'm outside without Wi-Fi, I would use data only.
okay.
And how do I go and turn off data?
Annika, you want to go back to the other side?
Oh, let me look.
So for
Number 2.
just 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it will be number 2. You just click on the green one and it'll turn off.
Oh, so if I turn that off, that's turning off my data, huh?
Yes.
Oh. And then when I go outside or away from home, I can turn it back on.
Yes.
Because otherwise I can't get any incoming emails.
Yes. So yeah, if you're outside, remember to turn it back on because you might miss like important emails or other
But if I'm
Wi-Fi.
just hanging out in the house all day, if I leave it off, then it saves my battery.
Yeah. And it like prevents, like sometimes Wi-Fi disconnects and then it'll keep using your data and things like that.
But
Got
if
it.
my iPad doesn't have a chip, I will never get data.
Yeah, for iPad, you don't need to worry about data.
Got it. Yes.
Unless you have the 4G or.
No, I don't.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
If I travel internationally and I have an iPad that has a room for a chip, I can buy a chip and get data internationally, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Okay, so moving on, more about the control center, what you have on the control center. So this lock with a circle around it, that's your rotation lock. So you can turn it off when you're watching videos and you want it horizontally on the bigger screen. That would be useful. Or you can just turn it on so your screen doesn't slide from vertical to horizontal. It will just stick with your rotation is basically locked.
And I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm using my iPad,
yes,
I'm trying to keep my workout in a horizontal position, and it keeps flipping to the vertical.
I see. Yeah. So if you want just horizontal, you can flip your screen to the horizontal screen first, and then you turn on the rotation lock.
And then on the rotation lock, set the horizontal, and then just turn the
rotation lock.
Turn rotation lock on.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try that. I've been trying everything, it seems, and I haven't been able to find a way.
All right, try that and let us know, okay?
Okay.
Where do you find the rotation lock?
So that is on your control center. That and it's this icon right here with the lock.
I can see it on the screen, but I can't see it on my phone. It's not on my phone.
Do you
It's
have the
outlined in yellow now.
Do you have the control center pulled up?
No. Where do I go to pull it up?
Let me see what device you have. Okay, so you're going to swipe from the bottom of the screen and upwards.
Mine only goes sideways. It won't go up. It doesn't go up.
Doesn't go up?
No.
Let me see.
Doesn't she have to go from the top right-hand corner down?
You can try that. I'm not sure which.
Then I just get my messages or my alert or something. That's all right. I really do have another question while I have you.
Okay.
My icon for the weather I used to get it when I opened up my phone, and now I only get it in my library in the back. How do I get it back to go? It's here in the library, but I wanted it to be with my other apps, in here. I checked the weather every morning with it, and I couldn't find it. And then I finally went all the way to the back, and it's gone to the back. I don't know why I did that. But
For that, is it okay if we wait till the end and we can put you in a breakout room with someone one-on-one?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so next slide. Okay, and then the moon button, that's a do not disturb button. So it'll turn off all your notifications. So you don't get random beeping or lighting up on your screen. So that'll be helpful when you go to sleep at night, or you're in an important meeting and you don't want it to be disturbed. All right, and then another really useful thing that I find that I use a lot is night shift mode. So this is really good for your eyes, and it basically automatically adjusts the colors of the screen to a warmer color, and it filters out the blue light, which can make your eyes feel really tired. And then it'll so you can turn it on during the night, and then it'll turn off during the daytime. So, so with the older models, if your screen looks like the one on the left, you basically press on night shift, and then you can choose on. For newer models, you'll have to firmly press the brightness. So that's with like the sun icon, and then you can choose night shift mode on.
So how do I do that? This is what I'm looking at. Is that correct?
Yes. So can you go back to another? So you're going to firmly press the brightness icon. So that's with the sun.
Yeah, so I press it firmly. Okay, I got it. And now what do I do?
And then there should be a night shift.
Night shift on or off?
You can have it on, and that will filter out the blue light, and then it'll be better for your eyes.
Okay, so I want to turn it on. Got it. Thank you.
What about the newer model?
So what I was telling her was a newer model.
But right now, oh, I see. I'm just blocking. You guys are blocking my newer model. So the newer model is, oh, I see. You just shift the level you want.
No, you're going to firmly press the brightness. Firmly press the sun icon.
I see it. Yeah.
And then it should pop up for you to turn on night shift mode or turn off.
And what do you recommend? Night shift
I
off?
recommend turning it on at nighttime.
Oh, just at nighttime?
Some people decide to turn it on the whole day, but that's up to you.
It looks like I have two choices, dark mode off or night shift off.
Dark mode is something else, and it basically makes majority of your screen dark.
Yeah, I've seen that.
All right, any other questions?
What's true tone on?
True tone, that's and that's turning off your night shift. Oh no,
I have both on, so.
True tone, it makes like the colors like true tone. Not
Okay.
exactly sure. It just makes it like this right amount of color, I think.
Do I want it on or off?
That's up to you. You can try it out.
Okay.
True Tone just, it messes with a few of the colors, but it won't like dramatically change how you see your iPhone. It's just mainly for like eye strain or things like that.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Okay, and a couple more things. So at the very bottom, you have your flashlight you can turn on really quickly, or you can access the timer. And then there's also a calculator and also a camera. And this is where you can customize what you want on your control center. And I'll go over how you can customize that. So to customize your control center, you would go to settings and click on control center. And then you first tap on, you can add controls by tapping the add button. So that's a green button with the plus sign. And then next slide, please.
Could you slow down a little bit? You go
Yes.
to your settings and you find control center,
Yes.
and then
And then you can add controls by tapping on the green plus sign. You can add whatever controls you want.
such as accessibility shortcuts, alarm, etc.
Yes, yes. So this part is personalizable. And then next, if you want to remove any controls, for example, I don't need flashlight, then I can just press on the red minus sign, and then I can remove it from my control center.
What is an NFC tag reader?
NFC tag reader.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay, it's not important. I guess it's in my control center, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay.
All right, and then if you want to rearrange the controls, so this is like if you want to move it around depending on the order you want it in, you would touch and hold the gray lines icon, and you can just move it around depending on which order you want it.
Did you mention what screen mirroring is?
I didn't mention that. It's for more if you have like an Apple TV, that would be helpful. But I assume a lot of people don't have Apple TV, and
It's a good assumption.
I don't have an Apple TV, so. But if you want anyone interested in learning what it is?
No.
Okay.
On my control center, it's got my flashlight, timer, calculator, and camera, and they all have the little red minus. Does that mean it
Yeah,
wants
so
me? I
if
think
you-
I have them.
That's a way to get rid of them.
Yeah,
Oh, but what if I don't want to get rid of them? Then I just leave them?
it's already there. It's under the
It's already there.
included controls. So that's already included.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And then what the access within apps, that's just if you're using an app, for example, I'm using timer, you can still open up control center wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're on home screen or you're doing something on email, you can still access control center whenever. All right. So you might ask, what controls should I add? So it depends on whatever you use the most. If you use alarm a lot, if you use flashlight a lot, if you want to quickly access it, you should add it into your control center. But you could add up to 21 options, I believe, which is a lot. Some suggestions I put, you can add your alarm, stopwatch, do not disturb while driving, magnifier, text size, voice memos, notes, whatever you want. And if you want to look up more, see what options there are, you can go to this website or just search up Control Center Apple on Google or something, and then they'll show a whole list of what you could add. All right, so that's the section on Control Center. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Then.
Yeah, so our next section is on using the search function and getting to use Siri. So this is kind of similar to the Control Center in that it allows you to take shortcuts to do a lot of different things on your iPhone or iPad. And so the first is a search function, which is a shortcut for just being able to look up things that you need to use or things that you want to Google. And so this search function can be found by either swiping all the way to the left on your home page or just swiping up, or sorry, swiping down so that it should be on the top. And you'll just see the search bar at the top. That's like boxed in yellow here. And this just allows you, yeah, did someone have a question? And this allows you to essentially search up anything that you need. So for example, well, like for the far right box here shows a bunch of different apps that might be suggested here.
Hi, Sherry.
And you can also just look up apps that you might need to use. So you can type in, like if you go to the search box, you type in like weather, then the weather app should show up. If you have a hard time finding it on your phone, you can just search it up. You can also Google things, and it'll show, like if you Google something like, I don't know, yeah, like you can basically Google anything in the search bar, and the top Google results will show up.
I haven't been able to get to my search bar on my iPhone. Could you tell me again? I'm swipe.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
You can swipe down anywhere on your any home page.
On the iPhone, on a home
Yeah.
page, not from the home, not from the home window with all the icons.
Not from the lock screen, if that's what you mean. It should, the homepage should look like what you see on the far left here. With just all your apps, and then if you swipe down from here, the search bar should show up at the top.
Oh, I see it. Just from the middle of the page.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I see the search. Yeah.
Oh, from the middle of the page.
Oh, I see it.
Oh yeah, not from the very very top.
You forgot the word middle, I think, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you swipe from the very top, then you'll get the Control Center and like other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you can put it, it's like a Google search or.
Yeah. Or you can
Got
type in like an app you need.
Got
I see.
You can type in like weather or something. Yeah, anything that, it's kind of just a shortcut for having to look up all those things on your own. The other way you can get the search bar is just by swiping all the way to the left. So next slide. So yeah, so if you type in USC, for example, you can
see.
If I surf all the way to the left, I get an app library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's
or
what
maybe it should be to the right.
Uh,
Yeah, to the right.
Yes, to the right.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the left, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, yes, if you
Yeah.
go all the way to the right. Okay.
And so you can type in, like for example, USC. Siri will suggest specific websites. It also suggests maybe different apps with that name. Maybe your emails that have USC in them. And so it's essentially
Brian,
like Google for your whole phone. What's that?
Brian, are you saying that the search bar is the same as Siri?
No.
No, I think it's the same as Google, right?
I don't think so.
They're both used to.
Mm.
I think the easiest way to put it is that they're both used to just like navigate your phone better. And so it's not like it's kind of a shorthand way of getting access to Google by just looking it up in your search bar rather than just going to your browser and searching it up there.
Oh, I see.
It'll also suggest like things that you open a lot, like maybe certain apps that you used recently. And so it makes it easier to navigate your phone by showing like, you know, these are apps that you use, or, you know, if you want to look up USC, it'll suggest websites that, you know, you might be interested in looking at, or apps. So it's just a shorthand way of getting access to all of that. You can also look up, like, for example, contacts, websites, apps, podcasts, or songs. And it'll basically make suggestions based on what you type in. So if it thinks you're typing in the name of a song, maybe it'll bring that up. If you're trying to get someone's contact so that you can text them or call them, you type in their name, their contact will show up. So again, it's not like Google, because you're not like looking at just the internet. It's just navigating your whole phone. So you can look up any of these things, and your search function will suggest which one you might be interested in looking at. So for example, like for search for me, like I like to type in like keywords when I need to look up emails that contain certain phrases, because it gives me access to easily look up those emails, or contacts, for example, if I need to find someone. I can just type in their name and their contact will show up. And
So
you can,
that-
so this is,
That search bar will scan my emails?
yeah, it'll use
Including
your, 'cause you
subjects?
have your mail app, right? So if you're connected to your mail app, your inbox, then it'll pull up any emails that contain like what you're searching up. And yeah, again, it's navigating your whole phone, so it has access to all those apps.
Would my email have to be open?
No,
Okay.
and that's a shortcut, right? Is that you don't have to open any of these apps yourself. And of course, if you want to open your mail app to look at the email, then you can just tap on it and it'll take you there, so that you can view the whole email. And so this is, oh, can you go back? But yeah, it's also like, so this is just a search function. When you type things in, you can also use the mic on the right side to on the right side of the search function to like ask questions there, like what is the weather today, kind of like Siri, and it'll pull up suggestions for that as well.
I don't see a microphone.
So, oh, you can
I don't see a microphone. Am I on the wrong page?
There's no microphone next to your search?
No.
It's a, oh.
I started out with the first page of my apps and I swiped from the middle down and I don't see any microphone.
Do you see the search bar?
Where is this? What's the search bar?
Let me see if I can like pull it up.
Should be at the top of the screen, like you
see this?
Right.
Oh, no, I don't see that.
And you said you swiped from the middle of the screen, right?
Yeah, from the middle of the screen.
You're just on one of your home
One
pages?
of my app pages, yeah.
Go from your home screen.
Yeah, from your home screen.
All right, my home screen is my first page of apps, right?
So like from here, you can just swipe down and you don't see that search function or that search bar.
From where?
Just from like anywhere, any of like your list of apps on your homepage, and then you swipe down.
No, I'm not getting it. I'll have to work on it.
Okay, well, we can like see if a breakout room helps later on. That's strange. But yeah, so the microphone for the search function is essentially similar to Siri, except with Siri, you don't even need to go to your search bar or anything, because with Siri, you just you can activate it by just saying, "Hey Siri," and then it'll activate it, and you can say whatever question, or you can look up something. Yeah, if you're kind of familiar with Siri, then you know that you can pretty much use it to access like any app. The same way with the search function, you can look something up, you can play a song, call or text someone, one of your contacts. And you can actually activate Siri 2 different ways in your options. So if you go to settings on this far left box here, and you scroll down a little bit, it's not too far down. Siri and search will give you all the options to set your Siri settings. So the easiest one, I think, is if you want to use Siri on your phone, you'll see under Siri and search, ask Siri, you can just say, listen for Hey Siri. Because this is the easiest, right? It's just, you can activate it by saying, Hey Siri. Depends on the older model. Most of them should have it though. Unless it's like, I think even like the earliest iPhones had Siri. Well, with like the slightly older iPhones with the home button, I believe you can hold it down and get access to Siri. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway. But you can hold the home button down to also get access to Siri. So that's for like the older models. You can also just say, Hey Siri, if you activate that setting in that yellow box on the left. And you can also do you can also press the side button for Siri, so that's another option. And so yeah, again, Siri will suggest things based on like what you ask. You can ask like, what's the weather today? What's you can Google something. Again, you can look up contacts, anything that the search function can do, basically. Siri, tell me a joke. Anything like that. So these are just different things you can ask Siri. When's the sunset? What time is something closed or open till? What's on my shopping list if you made like a list in notes or something? What's the news today? What's traffic like going to work? When is daylight savings time? So these are things that you want to essentially be able to access quickly, right? It's not information that you want to go digging for. And so if you have Siri activated, then this is an easy way to get access to all this information without having to look things up on your own. Because Siri will, it's like having conversation, right? It's just voice activated. And so it's the easiest and simplest way to get access to like this information that you need like quickly. Like what's the traffic like today, right? Because you're in a rush, or what's the news today? Any questions about search or Siri? They kind of work similarly.
I've had problems when I've been talking to a friend, like walking, and all of a sudden Siri butts in.
But Siri just comes on.
Yeah, and it's very annoying. And I mean, it was just, we were shocked. So there's a way, I'm just going into my Siri and search. I can say, it's got the little green lights. I guess I can turn her off, huh?
Yeah, you can. Like I said, if you want to just use your search bar, I mean, that does the same thing as Siri. It is kind of annoying sometimes. A lot of people everyone has that problem. Everyone who has Siri activated, they all have that. Like that's all happened to them before.
Okay, so I see a little button at the bottom. It says turn Siri off, so I can do that. Now, if all of a sudden I want to get her back on, I go back to my settings, and I should be able to figure out how to put her back on.
But again, the search function that we talked about earlier, that does all the same stuff as Siri, except you just have to type things in. Or you can use the microphone, which is also similar to Siri. So it's not like if you deactivate Siri, you can't do any of that. You'll still have access to all those shortcuts if you use the search bar, or if you use the microphone for the search bar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You mentioned you can ask it what's on your shopping list. I don't know how to create a shopping list.
Actually, I've not done that either. Anyone have?
I've never done it, but I assume there's like there's an app. I believe it's on your homepage called like lists. Maybe we can show it to you in a breakout room what it actually looks like. But I think that is like the shopping list that they're talking about.
Yeah, thanks.
For me, my shopping list is under my reminders. So every time I go to the store, I usually buy the same things, and it just creates a list. And then you uncheck it if you want it, or if you purchased it, you just close out the 0, and it'll just keep your list continuing. It's great.
Yeah, you can also ask Siri to like read you your reminders or anything, or like what's on my calendar for today if you need access to that. So again, because it has access to all your apps, it can just navigate through the information that you want relatively quickly without you actually having to peruse it yourself. Any other questions? I think we'll be moving on to the next section.
Okay, so I'm going to go over how to create contacts and then setting up emergency contacts. And creating contacts is like really helpful so that you don't have to memorize people's phone numbers anymore. Instead, you can save their phone number and maybe other information about them, like their address and whatnot, under their contacts. So you'll just search their name and all the information will be there. So this is the contacts app here on the left, and you're going to select it. And this screenshot here shows what you would see when you open the contacts app. So to create a new contact, you're going to press the plus button in the top right corner. And then this will show up and it'll be a blank template of a new contact, and you can basically choose what you want to fill out for the person. So typically it'd be first and last name and then phone number. I like to personally save my friends' birthdays here on the right. You can see it says add birthday, or maybe their addresses. So it's really up to you. You can customize the contact and what you choose to save under that person's name. And then here on the left, you can put a profile picture, and there's like little emojis that you can save for them, or on the top left, you can choose a picture of that person from your camera roll.
Right, how would you do that?
If you want to go back. So do you see like the 4 blue icons on the top row under Tommy Trojan in that screenshot?
Yes.
Okay, so the very left icon shows a camera. So you can click that and then you can take a picture of someone, or the icon, the second icon, it'll lead you to your camera roll, and then it'll bring up all the pictures you have in your camera roll, and then you can select a picture. And if you want, we can go more into that like in a breakout room later. Okay. And so
okay, now wait a second. So I see the person, and at the far, I see message, call, FaceTime, mail, and pay.
Are you in the new contacts template? Like, are you in the contacts app?
I think so. Yeah, I have my contact thing. Yeah, so I push contacts and then it shows.
And then you go ahead and press the plus on the top right.
Got it.
And then this should show up, these 2 screenshots I have here on the screen. Is that what's showing up on your phone?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, I get it, and I know how to make contacts. I just don't see how to add a picture. That's all.
Okay. Oh, so you'll press add photo.
Oh, add a photo. I get it. It's right there now. Who knows? Oh, I got it. I found it. Okay.
Perfect. So go ahead and move on. Here I just created like a little example of a contact so that you guys can kind of see the different things you can save. Maybe someone has a mobile phone number and then like a home phone number, so you can save multiple phone numbers and title them under one person's contact. And then you can also add like their social media, their relationship to you, like friend, parent, and whatnot. So if you guys want to go back and like look at the recording, or we're also sending out the slides, you can use this slide for reference if you want an example of a contact. And then to use the contact, these 5 icons under where it says Tommy Trojan, it's message, phone call, FaceTime, email, or pay. Like those are the options that you can use to interact with the contact. So a lot of times, like I'll click the message button and then I'm able to text that person.
Katie, where'd you get the cute Tommy Trojan emoji?
I just searched it like on Google.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it should be under Google Images. Okay, and then also, this is a separate thing, designating emergency contacts. So this is very important. If you were to call 911, the people that you designate as your emergency contacts, they would like receive a notification letting them know that you called 911 and you're in need of help, and then it would send them your location. And so I listened to suggested people to designate as your emergency contacts, close family members, maybe a neighbor or close friends. I personally have like my parents and my sister. So how you'll designate an emergency contact is you'll go to the settings app and then you'll scroll down until you see where it says emergency SOS. And then here at the bottom, you can see it has listed my emergency contacts, and then I'll press edit emergency contacts in health. And it'll take me to this thing called a medical ID. And basically it's optional if you want to put in your information, but you can build a medical ID and like put your personal information. So if you're in need of help and they found you with your phone, then there's a little bit of identifying information. But basically you'll just go to add emergency contacts, where you'll be able to add or remove people, and then you can search the person that you want to add as your emergency contact. And then as you can see, I have multiple Tommies in my contacts, so I clicked Tommy Trojan. And then you would select the relationship to you, so like friend, and then that's it. He's added as an emergency contact. So if I called 911, then he would be notified that I was in need of help and where I was.
I don't see how I get to my emergency contacts. I'm in settings.
Yeah, so you'll scroll down until you see the place
emergency SOS.
Yeah, it's a while down. You'll have to like scroll a little bit. It's under where you would select like general control center, and in that little section. All right, and then were there any other questions?
I still can't find it.
Another thing you can do is when you go to settings, there's a search bar at the very top.
Oh.
And then you can just search
emergency contacts.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Any other questions before we move on?
Yes, if you can see my phone right now, I can't get to my settings, but I don't have anything like that. I just have a written list of, that's one contact on my phone. I don't know how to get out to my list, but I don't have the graphic that you have. That's myself. I can't get to the list. I don't have the graphic.
Oh, so you're saying you can't find the contacts app?
I do have the contacts app, but it doesn't have what your contact app has. Right now, I don't know.
Contacts app, is it empty maybe?
No, it has thousands.
Okay, perfect. So you do have contacts.
I do, but they're all written by name and text. I don't have any of the visuals that you have. Damn.
In terms of visuals, you mean like a profile picture?
Well, none of the, it doesn't have the, I don't know how to get out of to show you the group. Right now, that's just one. And I don't know how to get out of this to show you all the others.
Okay, so I see it says like no contacts. You probably have your contacts saved somewhere else, like maybe in notes or something. But we're sending out the PowerPoint, so you can go ahead and go back and look through my slides and see how to transfer your contacts into the Contacts app.
I just looked at it, I just had it, but you know, if I go to my phone, I have all my contacts. Contacts.
Okay, at the end, we can put you in a breakout room and have someone help you with
All
it.
right, thanks.
All right.
Okay, if we're ready to go on, I will be presenting on how to take screenshots and then sending them. Slide. Okay. So for iPhone 8s and before, so pretty much any iPhone with a home button, how you take a screenshot is you press the power side button and the home button at the exact same time. And this will take us like an image of like what's on your screen at that very moment you press both the power button and the home button. And then a small image will, oh wait, sorry, go back real quick. So and then a small image will appear in the bottom left corner of your phone when you take a screenshot. And you can tap on that immediately to edit. And I'll go into this a little later. And screenshots can be found in the Photos app of your iPhone. So like the little icon thing on the bottom left of this slide, that's the iPhotos app. Next. So for iPhone X's and after, this screenshots can be taken using the power the side button and the volume up button at the same time. So click both power button and the volume up at the same time to take a screenshot. And again, the screenshot, like the very small image, will appear at the bottom left, and you will tap on this to edit the screenshot immediately. And then again, it will be found in the Photos app. Next. So editing photos is, you can do it two ways. The first way is when you immediately take a screenshot and there's the small image that appears on the bottom left. To edit, you can just tap on this small image and then it will pull up the photo, and then it will have a bunch of tools like markers and little pencils to edit the photo the way you want it to look. And another way to edit is through going to your Photos app and then finding the photo you want to edit, and then tapping on the photo, and then at the top right, there will be a little edit option at the top right of the phone. As you can see in the image on the right, it's on the top right, and you click on that and you will be able to edit the photo. Next. So editing, there are a lot of things you can do to edit your photo. When accessing it from the Photos app, you'll be first led to the image on the left where there's tools like adjust, filters, and crop and rotate. The first one, adjusting, I'm not even too sure what it does, but like what you can really do. But adjusting is just like adjusting the the colors, or how, just like how it looks. The filters is adding like a separate color on it, turning the photo black and white, things like that. And then the crop and rotate is if you wanted to crop the photo, like cut out a certain part of the photo, or rotating it would just mean like flipping it on its side. So if you took like a photo sideways instead of upright, you can crop or you can rotate it to change it to the orientation of the photo that you want. In the middle image is the drawing tools. So this, when you tap on the small photo immediately, this is what shows up, and you can just use any of the tools in the bottom. They're usually just like markers, and you can just circle a certain circle like an image or a text, anything on the image or anything on the screenshot. You can just use a marker tool to highlight it or whatever. And on the right is just a example of cropping. So on the center image is the full image, and on the right there's using the crop tool to cut out what I want of the image. And lastly, most important thing is just to click done so that it saves. You don't want to just exit out without saving the photo. So just make sure to click done before you before you leave the photo app. Yeah, and so how you send photos, this is the same for screenshots and just ordinary photos. How you do it is you select the photo that you want to send and from the Photos app, and then you tap in like the center of the image, and then you will have the option in the bottom left of the phone that has like a box with a little arrow pointing up. That's how you send photos to other people. So you'll be led to the image on the right where you have immediate contacts, people you contact frequently in the top row. And then on the bottom row, you have airdrop, messages, mail, Instagram. So, if you want to send it to someone you contact frequently, you can probably find it in the top row. If you're just trying to send it to anyone, you just use the options on the bottom row, like airdrop, messages, mail, and click on the method you want to use to send. And then that will let you like look up the person you want to send it to, or just type in the person's name or the contact, and you will be able to send that photo to whoever. Yeah.
All right, are there any questions about screenshots before we wrap up here? Cool. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few miscellaneous things at the end. And so I'll just start with some of the phone utilities that you may have on both your iPhone or your iPad. So things like the compass feature, the measure feature are things that, pretty self-explanatory. And the compass, if you ever need a compass to find a cardinal direction wherever you are, you're free to use that. It will ask you to like calibrate it beforehand, so you could play around with that. Measure, I think this is on fairly newer models of the iPhone, or depending on what your iOS is. Basically, it activates your camera and you can measure things using your camera as you move your phone along. So if I wanted to like measure the size of my room or something like that, I would go to the measure app and it would explain how I would do that. A helpful one is Find My. So if you lose another device, so for instance, you have your iPhone, but you lost your iPad, or if you have your iPad and you lost your iPhone, you could use Find My to find certain devices. Recently, it's also been used to help find other people. So if you have family members who you share your location with, you could use Find My to see where they are. Voice memos for audio recordings, or if you need to, have notes to yourself, or like a diary that requires audio, things like that. Reminders, so scheduling certain events in your day. If you have like a meeting to go to, or if you have other things to do and you need just a handy reminder, you could use the Reminders app instead of using calendars. And then finally, weather, just checking the weather outside, why not? And you can also check out the weather in other places around the world if need be. And also, chances of rain, precipitation, hail, snow, things like that. A good handy trick, especially for today, is updating your iOS. So there may be some days where your iPhone will say like, oh, you need to update your iOS, or here's a suggested software update. And so you can navigate to settings, go to general, software update, and then it will tell you which software update or iOS update you need to do. So for me, obviously, I'm guilty of this. I haven't updated my phone in a while. So my phone would tell me to update to iOS 14. So I would just go to general, software update, and then install the new iOS. And that may require a certain battery percentage, or you may need to be plugged into your charger while you're doing that. I'm going to just go on a little bit about accessibility, or ways to make your iPhone a little bit more helpful. So under settings, so similar to where I saw the software update, underneath it is the accessibility option. And so when you go to accessibility, these can change things like the size of the font on your iPhone, or the size of the font of your text. You could also use a magnifier. So if there are things on certain websites that you can't see, you could sort of press on the screen and it will create a magnifier. Same idea with like Zoom. So zooming in on certain images. If neither of those work, you could always opt into a voiceover, which is basically text to audio, and it will basically just read you what's going on. And there are a variety of other things, so audio descriptions. So for certain videos on YouTube, it may use audio descriptions to help you if you're unable to see the video properly. These are just suggestions. These aren't things that you have to do, but always feel free to play around with them and see, what best works for you. Understand as well also that these may not be consistent across all iPhones. So not all iPhones will have the magnifier on, or not all devices will automatically have the magnifier on. So that is sort of at your discretion as well. For things with physical and motor senses, there are different sensitivities to touch. So if you need to press with 2 fingers instead of 1, or 3 fingers instead of 1, or swipe with 2 fingers instead of 1, things like that, you're always welcome to do that. There's Face ID and attention. I'll also go over that in a little bit. Voice control. So if you don't have your hands free at the moment, you could always use voice control to do certain things that may just have to be you sort of learning what best works for you, and then using the side button for certain things. So if you press the side button twice, you could activate something. If you press it 3 times, it may do something else. And I'll also explain that in a little bit as well. So for those who may be hard of hearing or use a hearing device, you could sync your hearing device using Bluetooth. There may also be subtitles and captioning, again, for videos or things like that, if so needed. So again, mainly for folks who may be hard of hearing or may just need a little extra help hearing things that are coming from their phone. And then finally, general. So as I mentioned before, you could press your side button for certain things. So under accessibility at the very bottom, there's accessibility shortcut. And so you could choose which of these you want to use. So if you press your side button on your iPhone 3 times, it may help. It may turn on voice control, or it may turn on switch control, or turn on inverting colors. So again, this is mainly for your use. And so I personally don't have any recommendations because it's sort of by a case-by-case basis. So whatever works for you. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is sort of lock screen and Face IDs. This is as applicable. So if this option doesn't come up for you, that it may just not be on your phone. But always remember to use a passcode on your phone. Obviously, you don't want anybody just picking up your phone and then getting all of your information. Face ID specifically for many iPhones, you could use it for iTunes or for paying for certain things, or if you need to unlock your device. So somebody asked earlier if they would mention the charge on an app in the App Store. And so for me, whenever I get an app from the App Store, even if it's free, it will ask me to provide my Face ID as sort of recognizing that the app is free, or recognizing whatever the price of the app is, and I'm consenting to pay for it on my account. Similarly, you could set up alternative faces. So maybe a family member, in the event that you don't have access to your phone and you don't want to give them your passcode, you may do that as well. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I apologize, we did go a little bit over time, but this is our last presentation for the spring. And so we'll be kicking off again in the fall. We'll have our presentations as always up on the website. And we're really excited to see what we have for the fall, and also really sad that Sarah is leaving this semester. So big shout out to Sarah. But yeah, thank you for coming. And then also feel free to follow us on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll be posting some tips and tricks there for the specific sites as well. And I think there's one last slide. So we're going to do the breakout room part. So if you want to raise your hand and we could set you guys up in breakout rooms, I'll put the website address in the link below as well. So yeah, thank you.